Lena hesitated for a long time, but realized she had no choice. She returned to the very same apartment with Victor. Opening the door, she felt cold, as if it was winter inside. The mirror was still in the bedroom. Its surface was cracked, but it hadn't shattered. In its depths she could see a dark, faintly visible figure. "You must summon it," Victor said, "but don't be afraid. I'm near." Lena approached the mirror and said, "I'm here. You wanted me to come back." The shadow instantly came to life. She burst out of the mirror, filling the room with an icy wind. Her silhouette was huge, eyes glowing with darkness. "You are mine," the shadow hissed. "You opened the door. Now you won't leave." Victor began to recite a spell in Latin, holding an amulet that emitted a bright light. The shadow hissed, its form beginning to distort. Lena felt something invisible pulling her toward the mirror. "You must hold on," Victor shouted. "Don't let her take you." Gathering the last of her strength, Lena screamed, "I'm not afraid of you. Go back to where you came from." The shadow hissed louder, but the power of the amulet and Lena's determination began to drive it back into the mirror. When the last ray of light illuminated the room, the shadow disappeared and the mirror shattered into tiny shards with a loud crack. Silence reigned in the room. Victor collapsed into a chair, tired but satisfied. Lena, trembling, crouched on the floor, watching the shards of the mirror. "Is it over?" she whispered. Victor nodded. "Yes, she's not coming back." Lena walked out of the apartment, feeling the weight finally lifted off her shoulders. She knew this nightmare had left a mark, but now she was free. A few months later, Lena learned that the building that housed her old apartment had been demolished. They planned to build a shopping center in its place. However, the builders reported strange things. Equipment often broke down, and the workers heard whispering during the night shift. Among the debris, someone found a single whole shard of mirror. It is said that if you look into it for a long time, you can see someone's shadow. Lena tried to forget about what had happened and get on with her life. She moved to another city, started going to yoga classes, and even made new friends. It seemed that everything was finally behind her. But one day, while walking through an antiques fair, she came across an old, dusty object covered in fabric. The seller, noticing her interest, removed the cloth, and Lena froze in place. In front of her was a mirror, almost identical to the one from her past. "This is a rare item," said the seller. "Would you like to buy it?" Lena took a step back, feeling a chill creep into her heart. She didn't answer anything, just turned around and hurried away. On the way home, she felt as if someone was watching her. She looked around, but the street was empty. In the window of one of the houses, however, she saw her shadow for a moment, but it moved differently than she did.